And this one is a competitive wrestling game where players are both going to have to earn the world title and then defend it at least once in order to win the game. But the way that this game works is that players are going to be going through a bunch of main events, and you can actually gain a few titles along the way that can gain you some special benefits. And you can also earn a manager along the way as well, which can grant you with some special abilities that might open up some new avenues that might be a little out of reach for your wrestler. But at the start of the game, players are going to be dealt a set of cards that you're going to be using to build up your wrestlers. Each player is going to have their own wrestler sheet, and you'll be able to choose which side you want to flip it to, with the only difference being whether you want to be a heel or a face wrestler, which pretty much means whether or not you are a fan of the crowd or not, and that's going to be determining some different effects within the game and determining which cards you can or can't use. But other than that, each wrestler is going to have a style card as well as a gimmick card, and this is going to determine which types of moves you are proficient in, and the gimmick card is going to be granting you with some special abilities. Players will also receive some basic move cards as well as a finishing move, and some of these move cards can actually be different items or gear as well, which you can equip to the various slots in your wrestler. Something that's interesting about the moves is that they do have varying strength depending on if your wrestler is proficient with those moves or weak with those moves, and that's going to be determined by your wrestler style card that I mentioned before. Whenever you do engage in battle with another wrestler, you're just looking at the overall strength to determine which wrestler is going to win that match, but of course there are various modifiers and different things you can do to modify your strength temporarily, and also certain styles of wrestlers can give them advantages over others. But players are going to be spending their action points in order to put their different move and item cards into play, and then of course you can also use those action points to activate any special effects during an actual match. For players to level up the wrestler, they're going to be fighting against a wrestler deck, and as you gain more strength with your wrestler, it's going to be moving you through different ranks. Whenever you go up against one of these generic wrestlers, you're going to be checking its current strength based on your current rank, and then you're going to be comparing your strength to its strength. Like I said, some wrestlers have advantages over others, and these wrestlers could have different special effects as well, but you're going to want to try and deploy the appropriate cards and use the appropriate abilities in order to try and get your strength above theirs. If you're able to win the match, then you're going to be gaining a match win token, which you'll just be able to keep to increase your strength by 1 permanently, and you'll also be able to draw a few cards from the move deck and then choose one to add to your hand. Of course, you're going to want to choose some moves that do work well with your style and also work well with the other cards that you might already have in your possession. Of course, players can also fight each other as well, and like I said, the whole goal here is to earn that championship belt and then defend it at least once, and the first player that's able to do that wins the game. And if you want to check this one out, I will have it linked in the description down below.